Oh, my bad, not 57, 54. 54, page 54. Page 54. Let's see. Don't look when you on page 54.
I thought we were reading chapter 54.
54. Page 54. Page 54.
I thought we shot.
And what we're going to do is I'm going to let y'all reread that paragraph at the beginning of chapter 7 on page 54 that begins with the following words. As soon as I got into the library. So I'm gonna give y'all like a minute to read that right quick on page 54. And I want y'all again to show me a thumb when you feel like you're ready. Where it says as soon as I got into the library, I closed my eyes, read that, and then you're gonna end it where it says hypnotize and smell. So read that right quick. I'll hit it. Ready to discuss? All right, so everybody can see a paper. Turn up to the back of your paper. Turn to the back of your paper and skip that part where it says, when I've been into the limit, and go straight to where it says on page 54. So, what I want for y'all to do, let's read this question. On page 54 in Blood Not Buddy, what kind of sensory detail did the passage show? Give evidence from the text, and remember, race. So let's race again. What's the R? What's the A? What's the C? And an E? Alright, so on page 54, you know where to look. What kind of sensory detail did the passage show? I want y'all to take this time. I want y'all to remember to use the race method on here, and I want y'all to answer those questions for me. Answer that question for me. So I first want y'all to focus on, what kind of sensory detail did the passage show? And then you're going to find evidence from that passage. You gotta write it down. Sensory detail, the 5 senses. Like using what kind of words gave off the idea of that sense, So yeah, let me let you use this one right quick. Let's see here. Remember, you gotta follow the race method. So remember, you gotta restate that question first, and then you answer the question, and then you gotta go back and cite that evidence. And remember how we cite things. We're gonna go over it. We're gonna label these parts up here. Sensory detail. All right, y'all. Remember, sensory detail. You're gonna be looking for like the words, like something in there, like clues in that paragraph that kind of lets you know like what sense is being used. So let's just say, like, for example, if there's like a sentence or a paragraph that was about like sight, not saying that's the one that's being used here, you might be looking for words or phrases in this paragraph that shows you that, hey, the sensory detail being described here is sight. But you're gonna try to find what sense is being used in this paragraph, and then give evidence of, well, how is that sense being used in this paragraph, or being described in this paragraph? You got it, Judge? Raise your hand if you feel like you're done already. Or raise your hand if you feel like you need a little bit more time. Go over it right quick, like, because just for time. Let's go ahead and go. So, first, let's read the question. Let's go just look at it. It says, on page 54, but not but which kind of sensory detail did the passage show? So, first, what's our first part of race?
Restating.
We're going to restate it, right? Oh, that got orange. We're going to restate it, right? So, how did y'all restate the question? Who wants to show me how they restated it? And I saw you had a good one on there. Like, at the beginning part of your sentence. Mm-hmm. Read the beginning part of your own answer. Ooh, go ahead. All right, no, wait, stop right there. So she said, on page 54, sensory detail used is smell. So right there, on page 54, she restated her question. So the question said on page 54, not, let's say, on page 54 and Bud Not Buddy, you know, she just restated basically what the question said. When you restate something, you're just kind of like restating like the little bitty beginning part of that question. So on page 54, the sensory detail used is smell. So that is R. Right there. I'm gonna do it in a different color. That is R. So now we gotta have our answer. So what was the answer? Who can tell me like the answer? So what sensory detail is being used, Macario? Smell is being, but then smell. So we kind of already have our answer up here. So detail is used to smell. So after answering it, label the answer in this color. After answering it, what's the next step? So who can tell me how they cite their evidence? Who can tell me how they cited their evidence? Like, you know, we Now, whereas like Tristan, you got one? How did you start it? When he was smelling the page, okay. So when we cite something, how do we usually start it off with?
According to the text.
Oh, according to the text. So let's say according to page 54, say according to the text. And who got an example of like using smell in that paragraph? Ella? It said, I got a riff. My bad, I got a whiff. A what?
I got a will.
Of the leather. And what else? Is that it? That's all you put? And all of the old books? On all of the old books. And that is our citing right there. Now we gotta do our now we gotta explain it. Well, shoot, if I was to ask you like, well, how do I know just because it says I gotta whip the leather on all the old books? How could you explain to me how does that have to deal with smell? How would you explain that to me? If somebody was to ask you like, okay, well yeah, like, you know, so go more in depth, Ella. Tell me, how would you explain it to somebody? I got a whip, and usually when you got a whip, that kind of has to deal with what y'all? Has to deal with smell. And then, you know, I got a whiff of the leather on all the old books. And so whip usually has to deal with smell. So how would you write that in a complete sentence of explaining to somebody? Who can tell me how would you write that in a complete sentence, explaining to somebody that whiff kind of means smell? Anybody got it? A hint would be like, I can give you a hint. I got a whip of the leather on all of the old books. This, you can say, I'm gonna just give you like a little sentence starter. This shows smell because it shows smell because what, Lamaya?
Like red is like it's like when you're sniffing something.
Because whiff is means you sniff something. That's a good explanation right there. So y'all don't have to exactly put this answer down, but this is exactly how you would explain something. Remember when we were doing constructive response? You have to do all your constructive response questions using rate. Now, I'm gonna ask y'all like a little, because now it's about time for us to go. But I'm gonna give y'all like a little, you know, a little closing right now on your on my little sticky notes. Hold on, just a second. I'm gonna need, first of all, can this first table put their books back in the crate with their food? Yes, can y'all go ahead and put y'all crates back in the crate? Or put y'all books back in the crate. On these sticky notes, I want you to at least write one thing you have learned and put it on my board about imagery today. Just one thing you have learned.